All right, let's jump right in. We're going to unpack one of the smartest ways you can upgrade your home and honestly unlock some pretty serious energy savings. And yeah, we're talking about heat pumps. I mean, it sounds a little bit like magic, doesn't it? The idea that the air outside your house, just the air, could slash your energy bills. But here's the thing, it's not magic. It's just really, really clever technology. And yep, it can. Meet the hero of our story, the heat pump. This is a piece of tech that's quickly becoming one of the most efficient, most cost-effective ways to heat water in your home. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the problem we're trying to solve here. We all use hot water, right? Every single day. But what most of us don't really think about is just how much that old, clunky system is actually costing. It's this hidden drain on your household budget. And this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at the sheer difference in cost here. On the far left, you've got your traditional electric system. We're talking $800 to maybe even $1,200 a year to run. Ouch. Gas? Okay, it's a little better. But then look at the heat pump. It's way down there, as low as $200 or $300. I mean, that's not just a small saving, that is a total game changer for your bills. So the big question is, how on earth does it manage those savings? Well, it's all about working smarter, not harder. And the easiest way to wrap your head around it is to think about your refrigerator, but in reverse. See, this is the core idea right here. A traditional water heater has to work so hard. It's got to burn gas or use a huge, power-hungry electric element to create heat from absolute scratch. A heat pump? It doesn't do that at all. It's way cleverer. It just finds the warmth that's already in the air outside, and yeah, even on a cool day, and it just moves it into your water tank. It's a heat mover, not a heat maker. So let's break down how that magic actually works. It's a really simple four-step cycle. First, absorb. There's a special liquid, a refrigerant, that acts kind of like a heat sponge. It soaks up warmth from the outside air. Then, step two, compress. A compressor, you guessed it, compresses that refrigerant, which makes it get super, super hot. Step three, transfer. That now hot liquid flows through pipes in your water tank, transferring all that lovely heat to your water. And finally, step four, expand. The refrigerant cools right down as it expands, and it's ready to go back outside and grab more heat. It's this constant, super efficient loop. And the result of this whole clever process? Absolutely incredible efficiency. Get this, for every 1 unit of electricity it uses to run the system, it generates 3 to 4 units of heat. That's an efficiency rating of 300 to 400%. To put that in perspective, your old electric heater is, at its absolute best, 100% efficient. It's just no contest. All right, so that's the techie stuff. But what does all this cleverness actually mean for you? Let's get to the bottom line, the part we all care about. What does it mean for your wallet? Okay, so let's set a baseline. Right now, if you've got an old, inefficient electric system, you could easily be spending up to $1,200 every single year just on hot water. Now, imagine you swap that out for a new heat pump. That number, it plummets. We're talking an average of just $300 a year. Do the math. That is $900, a $900 difference. That's money that goes straight back into your pocket year after year after year. That is the real-world impact of all that efficiency we were talking about. Okay, so I'm guessing you're probably sold on the savings by now. But the next logical question is, which system is the right one for your home? Let's dive into the practical stuff. So you're mainly going to come across two types. First, you've got integrated systems. These are the most common. They're an all-in-one unit with the pump and the tank all together. Super simple and usually cheaper to install. Then you have split systems. These, as the name suggests, separate the pump from the tank. This gives you way more flexibility, especially if you're tight on space, but they can be a little bit more expensive. All right, next up, size. You've got to get the right size tank for your family. This chart is a pretty handy guide. If it's just 1 or 2 of you, a smaller tank, say 170 to 200 liters, is probably perfect. For a typical family of 3 to 5, you're going to want to look in that 250 to 270 liter range. And if you've got a big household, 6 people or more, definitely go for 315 liters plus. And here are a few final but really crucial things to keep in your back pocket when you're shopping around. First, think about your climate. Make sure the unit you're looking at is actually designed to work well where you live. Second, efficiency. Look for this term, coefficient of performance, or just COP. It's the official rating, and you want that number to be 3.0 or higher. Simple as that. And finally, space.
The unit needs room to breathe, so make sure you've got at least 300 millimeters of clearance around it for good airflow.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The question I know is on your mind. This all sounds great, but what's it going to cost me upfront? Let's break down the investment, because it really is an investment.
So yeah, what is the upfront cost? All right, no sugarcoating it. For a quality unit plus professional installation, you're generally looking in the ballpark of $4,500 to $8,500. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but, and this is a huge but, that's the price before we talk about rebates. And this is where the price starts to look a whole lot better. There's a federal green energy incentive that gives you a pretty hefty rebate. We're talking somewhere between $800 and $1,400. And the best part? You don't have to fill out a bunch of paperwork and wait. The installer usually just takes it right off the price up front, so it's an instant discount. But wait, there's more. On top of the federal rebate, a lot of states have their own programs. If you're in a place like Victoria or New South Wales, you could get another $1,000 off. Suddenly, that initial price tag looks a lot less scary, right? So let's look at the bigger picture here, the investment timeline. Okay, year zero, you have that initial cost. But then, because you're saving so much on your bills, the system completely pays for itself in just 3 to 5 years. After that, it's all just savings. Pure profit, really. Over the typical 15-year life of the system, you're not just breaking even. You could be looking at over $10,000 in your pocket that wouldn't have been there otherwise. And really, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It's not just buying an appliance. It's a smart investment. It's an investment in making your home more efficient, in your own financial future. And hey, it's great for the environment too. So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. You know that hot water heater on the side of your house? It runs every single day. So the question is it working for you, actively saving you money, or are you just working to pay for it? Something to think about.